Hello everyone, welcome you all. In this session, we are going to see UPSC PAPER-2, namely CSAT. See, we are going to see the next 60 days strategy for the upcoming prelims. That is very important. If you are a beginner, if you are not prepared for CSAT, it is possible to cover in the next 60 days with the proper strategy. Let us begin the strategy and first of all, one has to understand the exam pattern for CSAT UPSC, and also know that it is very important to know each and everything. The one is number of questions. There is total 80 questions. Out of 80 questions, it carries negative marking also. Yes, 1 by third of the maximum marks will be penalized for each incorrect answers, and then the time duration is 2 hours. Then type of the examination is offline, and then the language for CSAT exam paper is English and Hindi. It carries both the languages. The maximum mark would be 200. Finally, CSAT is the qualifying, and then qualifying marks is 66 marks, nothing but 33% of qualifying criteria. 66 is for 200. And also remember that even though if you are getting high marks in the GS paper, if you are not clearing, or else if you are not crossing this 66 mark, then obviously we have to appear for the UPSC in the next year. So kind be alert with PAPER-2. See, let us see the marking schemes. Each question carries 2.5 marks in the CSAT paper, which makes total of 200 marks. And also remember that there is a negative marks, and also for incorrect answers, the candidate is penalized by 1 by third of the total marks allotted to that question. See, the allotted to the question is 2.5 marks, out of which 1 by third is nothing but 0.83. For every incorrect answers, your marks is getting reduced by 0.83 for your every incorrect answers. And then if you just leave that question by not attempting, and then no marks will be cut off for that particular question. See, this trend analysis of CSAT paper is very important. One has to know that one has to analyze at least last 5 years question paper. That is very important. If you analyze last 10 years, well and good, or else just analyze the recent trend proper. Let us see the syllabus for the CSAT paper-2. Comprehension, basic numeracy, data interpretation and sufficiency, general mental ability, logical reasoning and analytical ability, and then English language comprehension. Finally, decision making and problem solving, interpersonal, including communication skill. This is nothing but the syllabus for your CSAT paper. Okay, and then so let us analyze. See, here in each year, this comprehension plays very vital role. At least 20 plus questions in every year. You are getting 20 plus questions. See, this is very important. To crack this comprehension, this is a simple thing. One has to know that you should be know the basic communication skills, and you have to read that passage. You don't need any prior knowledge, etc. See, one has to know how to differentiate the assumptions and conclusions and verbal expressions of the author, and also your argument. That is very important. And also by practicing CSAT paper-2, you can understand basic things about this topic. See, in the year 2020, and aspirants should have the brief knowledge about the technical terms. If you take 2020 paper, there was a technical terms like corollary and then assumptions. So these and all technical terms one has to remember and practice, and then you should read the question and determine what to look corollary with the question with the answer choice. In general, you have to look for the answer choice that either strengthen or weaken the argument, and predict the answer after reading and understanding the passage and the premises and the arguments. And also note that you should take care of the word like may and may not, only, can, should, like that. Remember that your answer should be totally based on the passage, and your understanding of that passage is very important. Scoring good marks in the section depends entirely on how much you synchronize yourself with the author given in the passage content. And also, one has to practice that selected passages from the area like comprehensions, that is editorial, in the newspaper. See, if you are seeing editorial like science, philosophy, and then economy, art, environment, and then literature, these are the types coming under the comprehension. One has to read the editorial of the daily in the newspaper for better solving these comprehension questions, and also basic books related to NCERT. So what about basic numeracy and data interpretation and sufficiency? See, this is very important. See here, 43 questions were asked in the last year 2020, and also consistently there is at least 20 plus questions in each year you are getting in this session. See, in last year there was 20 questions from the basic numeracy and 23 questions from the data interpretation and sufficiency. Therefore, to clear the CSAT paper, this two plays vital role. If you are belongs to max background, then well and good. Even though if you are not belongs to max background, just start your practicing from the day 1, that is 60 days schedule, and then you can crack this CSAT paper very easily. And then let us see general mental ability. We got 11 questions here in the year 2019, 24 questions, 2018, 16 here, and then see at least 10 plus questions here in each year. And therefore, if you just see, we do not want to score centum here, just we have to cross that 66 marks. For that, just at least correctly you have to answer 30 questions, or else try to attempt 40 questions, out of which 30 questions you have to answer correctly, at least 30 plus. It's important to crack this CSAT paper-2. And then let us come with language comprehension, and then decision making and problem solving, interpersonal skills, and including communication skills. See, there was no questions here, there was no questions in this session. So kindly remember that this session is very important. Which one is very important? Let us see this comprehension, and then this basic numeracy, and then interpretation and sufficiency. See, in these two things we have some positive. If you are weak in comprehension, if you are good in mathematics, obviously you can crack this. If you are weak in mathematics, if you are very strong in comprehension, then you can crack this UPSC. If you are very well aware of this comprehension and basic numeracy, data interpretation and sufficiency, no need to worry about anything related to this UPSC paper. But remember that this paper 2 is very important. Let us see, or let us analyze few basic related things related to basic numeracy and data interpretation and sufficiency. This plays very vital role. This basic numeracy plays very vital role. See, this is split into 5 sessions. One is numerical aptitude, and then arithmetic, and then algebra, and then geometry and mensurations. Finally, modern mathematics. What do you mean by numerical aptitude? See, this is nothing but simple thing. We have already studied this. We have to refresh. We have to work on the problems. That is very important. We have studied in the lower classes like topics like prime number, and then HCF and LCM, And then very important thing is board mass, so that is very important. And then log, and then simplifications like indices, and then sets and their properties, so division rules. These are the very important topics related to numerical aptitude that plays vital role. You should be very aware of this topic. And also this arithmetic topic plays very vital role in any competitive exams, not only related to UPSC. It is very important topic. See, this topic covers is nothing but percentage, and then simple interest and a compound interest, and ratio and proportions, and then partnership, that is mixtures and alligation and mixture, and then time, speed, distance, clock, and then pipes and hydrants, and then these and all very important topics. See, for this one has to just solve the NCERT questions, that is NCERT basic books, that is very important books for the basic understanding. And also know that which covers in this model scoring more marks present in this session. In other models they are easy to interpret, and also very few concepts that one has to master to do in all these topics. The questions involves uses the easily memorizing the tricks may prove helpful in such a problems. If you are doing in the last 60 days without solving anything, just learn the basic formula methods. That formula methods is very important rather than tricks or any kind of shortcuts. Formula gives you the accurate answer. If you make any mistakes related with a shortcut, then we are losing the marks. If you are just doing that 60 days without solving before, then use formula method. See, we have to solve 30 plus questions correctly. So therefore be calm and use the formula method to solve this kind of problem. And then when compared to algebra, we are just moving with algebra. See, this model we have already learned AP, GP, and then basic problems like maximum, minimum, polynomials, and linear equations. So these and all comes. See, you may not expect a question from algebra, but one should aware of the basic concept related to the algebra. And what about geometry and mensuration? See, this topic is very important. Lines and angles, triangles, circle, and then trapezium, like that. Form related to volume, area, and then cylinder, cone, sphere, hemisphere. We have already studied these mensurations up to 10th standard itself. So therefore, this is very important topic. So one has to remember these things. And what is modern mathematics? The modern mathematics is nothing but probability and then permutation and combinations. So these and all the topics comes under modern mathematics. One should aware of these topics. See, last year you just got 20 plus question. In each year at least you are getting 20 plus questions related to the basic numeracy. So the basic books are very important. I will tell you the basic books also. Let us move on with the data interpretation and sufficiency. This also plays vital role. See, in each year you are getting 20 plus questions. Last year there was a 23 questions there. Okay, so let us see what is data interpretation and sufficiency. That is bar chart, histogram, and line chart, pie chart, and then data sufficiency. See what contains in the bar chart. See, it is a graph having the rectangular bars which length is proportional to the value it represents. The bar can be platted vertically and horizontally. You have to find out the answers. Okay, numerical data. So similarly, histogram and line chart, and then pie chart and data sufficiency, that is very important. So in this part a question is followed by the statements, and you will be expected to find whether the information provided in the statement individually or collectively is sufficient to answer this question. So that is nothing but data sufficiency. So that is very important. The good mathematical knowledge and skills are required to solve the data sufficiency problems, because these problems appear more difficult at first, but once you become familiar with this direction, you find these problems no other than standard aptitude problems. Therefore, this data sufficiency plays a vital role. So kindly remember that also. So let us see the basic book list. See, to solve this, the short revision and practices, one has to solve NCERT 5th to 10th. That is for the basic fundamentals. Yes, these books are very enough and very important books. If you practice these books, you can achieve. So therefore, also solve the NCERT 5th to 10th standard book. If you are a beginner, if you are not yet started your CSAT paper, if you do not have any basic books, just download the PDF of NCERT mathematics, that is 5th to 10th standard. So that is very important books. And then note that for solving the exercise problems, if you don't know the answer, just use these two websites. Okay, Learn CBSE and Tiwari. These two websites are very important and very simple. Okay, they are providing the solutions. See, lot of websites are providing the solutions, but these two are basic. So Learn CBSE and Tiwari. You may find the answer for the NCERT max problems. And then CSAT PAPER-2 manual by Tata McGraw-Hill. That is very important book. If you are having that book, solve the previous year question papers, solve the techniques present in the each chapter, and then solve maximum number of problems. And then if you are having the time, if you are just preparing for the next year, and then you use this reference book. This is very important books. The Analytical Reasoning by M.K. Pandey. This book is very important. It plays vital role during the CSAT. Not only CSAT, for any competitive exams, this book plays very important role. Quantitative Aptitude by Dr. R.S. Agarwal. See, everyone using this book for competitive exams, since they have provided you chapter wise and also some formulas and basic examples and exercises. This book is very good, but practice from day one if you are having 1 year complete cycle. But for the short duration, these books are very important. And then solve the previous year question papers. That is very important. And then finally the modern approach to verbal and non-verbal reasoning by Dr. R.S. Agarwal. See, if you are a beginner just going to appear for next year, then these three books are very important. And then how to solve in the next upcoming 60 days. See, just plan 30, okay, or else split 30 into 30 plus 30, 60 days, right? And then note that for every 3 hours, okay, per day, 3 hours per day, spend for CSAT. Okay, in this 3 hour, just split it into 1 plus 2 hour. The 1 hour for basic understanding. See, don't get any confusion. Basic understanding is very important. And also don't feel like stressed or depressed with related to CSAT. It's a simple qualifying paper. We need to just crack 30 plus questions correctly. So note that. Okay, simple thing. We do not have to score 50 plus questions, etc. So therefore, just learn basic things by spending 1 hour. See, in this 2 hour, just split it into 1.5 hours and 0.5 hours. Okay, why 1.5 hour? See, this 1.5 hour is to solve the questions related after learning the concepts by spending this 1 hour. So that is very important. Here in this 0.5 hours, just try to solve every previous year question paper related to that particular topic. That is very important. Also, the time. Okay, I would suggest you to take this CSAT during the morning hours. Okay, early morning hours, since the CSAT is the mathematics paper. Okay, it needs a fresh mind. That is very important. One has to keep a fresh mind while solving the CSAT paper for understanding the basic things. So therefore, just utilize your fresh mind after your sleep. Therefore, you can able to understand and grasp the basic understanding for solving the CSAT paper questions. So with this, I am concluding this session. Thank you all the best and have a good day. We will meet in the next session. Thank you once again.